Hi, fifth grade, and welcome back to Math with Mr. Hammond. I am going to walk us through this week's math packet. I'm going to do the first step, the first half right now, and then another video with the second half coming up. So let me share my screen and get us to the math. Hopefully everything's going well and you're doing great. Share this. It should be here. I passed the what's the paragraph for the week? Case of the butterflies. Hopefully that's a good reading. Not actually about butterflies, but what happens when you get nervous, right? Today we are going to focus on generating patterns. Last week we were looking at making expressions. Today we're going to look at how do you make them and where do these patterns come from that we see so much. So they're saying if you have toothpicks, great. If not, I'm going to use this stylus and move it around and get really, really colorful today. So I look forward to this one. So in the first step, the whole page is focusing on these little figures 1, 2, and 3 right here, right? So this pattern below is made from toothpicks. The first figure, I will fill those in. Wow, sorry. That guy's really big. First one, we have 4 lines, right? So to answer question 1, use toothpicks to model the fourth figure. Sounds good. So when we go to figure 2, we still have to remember that these are the same 4. Now we're just adding on. And what are we adding on? Not another 4, because that would put 2 here. We're just putting 1, 2, 3 to continue the pattern. Right? If I look at, so now for the total, it'd be 4 plus these 3. So I could almost write 4 plus 3. Now you're going to notice, once again, as we keep stating, a pattern. So we start with those 4. 4. Then we have those 3 again. 3. Now we go to adding another whole square, but we don't have to add all square because we already have one side added. So we're adding another 3. So if I add these up, 4 plus 3 is still 7, plus another 3 gives me 10. So far we have 10. Now comes the part where they really get into fun. If I use toothpicks, again, I made 3. If I model the fourth figure, so I'm going to add a fourth square to it, how many toothpicks did you use? Now, how many toothpicks are we going to use to put a fourth square on? We use 1, 2, 3 again. If I add that 10, or the 3 to the 10, I end up with 13. Now, this ends up being, every time we do it, we're going to add 3. That is our pattern. So if we add 3 more to the fifth figure, right, adding 3 to here would just take us to 16, and so on, and so on, and so on. As they kept going, right, I'll fill it in here. Complete the table. So fourth pattern, sorry, trackpad is moving really slow. 13, then we added another 3. So this one would be, yep, you got it, 19. And I'll let you figure out that one on your own. So when it says, what do we notice about the number of toothpicks needed for each new figure? Our pattern tells us that each time we are adding on there, it is adding 3 to the pattern. We started with 4 because we needed that first base, right? And then from there, we just continue to add on, and so on, and so on. So that's kind of how that went. Using your rule, how many toothpicks you need for the 8th figure or the 9th figure. You know what, guys? I'll let you do that on your own because I bet you can do it. This one, guys, this one always gave me trouble. And I'll explain why to you right now. When you look at it, figure 1 to figure 2 to figure 3. I used to do this as a mistake. I took this to be the square, and then it moved over, and I always thought that was the square again, and I always thought that was the square. Now, when I look at the patterns don't make sense to me. What it took me some time to figure out was that this was not the squares move. This square is this square, then becomes this square, and we're just adding on to the bottom and to the right. Then we add on to the bottom and the right again, and then they do it again, here and there. And then it keeps building out as an L or an upside down L. So now we can get back to that. Let's look at it and see what it's asking us. Number of toothpicks. Once again, 1, 2, 3, 4. Now it says, it already gives us the figure. In the second figure, there's 10 toothpicks. So we still have our 4, 2, 3, 4. I'm just going to put these here right now. But now we're going to add on 3 here, like we did in the first problem, and 3 here. 3 and 3 gives us 6. 4 plus 6 gives us 10. And if we do the same thing, we're adding these 3 again. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. 6 more. So we keep adding 6, 6. So this rule that we can figure in here, there's always a rule. And we know that this rule is to add 6 to continue. If I make the next one, I would add 3 more. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 6 plus 16 gives us 22. And I just keep going. Plus 6, plus 6, plus 6. All right. All right. Now we're at these. These are where they come into looking at what, same thing. Once again, what is the generated pattern? What is this question asking you? Figure 1 needs 4 toothpicks. Once again, we're back to our normal square. How is this pattern different than the pattern in the activity on the first page, right? Now we know what's different about this, that there is no line here. So what happens to that? We are just extending. So this square would be like this. 1, 2, 3. Now it's here. Still 4, right? If I pushed that in and took these 2 away, I'd have a square. But our new figure gives us 1, 2. So we put 2 new toothpicks in. If I look here, let's do this. Let's leave these 2. Go back to this green that had 1, 2, 3, 4. Whoopsie. That's bad. That was a bad line. 4. And now we come back to adding 1, 2. So we have a total of 4 green lines, 2 orange, 2 yellowish colors. That gives us a total of 8. We are every time adding 2 more. So the rule here would be to add 2. So figure 4 would need how many toothpicks? Because this total is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and I add 2. Figure 4 would need 10. I'll let you figure this out. Remember, remember, remember. Look at the first figure. Make that same pattern there, and what is it? What is that telling you? And how is that going to help? I'm gonna let you do 5. I'm gonna let you do 6. Ooh, then here comes 7, where it gets a little fun. Sorry, I scrolled way past. Now you're looking at the patterns. Now that you've made patterns, they want you to look and organize patterns. So read them. This swimming, days, laps, days, laps. What is happening? What is the rule, right? Always important. What's the rule? What is this table doing? What is this table doing? What's this rule? And then they will tell you how to get to this spot. Same thing with these ones, number 7 and 8. What's the rule? And then they're asking you to compare. Guys, I have the most faith in you. Get to work in on it. Hopefully you already did it in this video. Didn't even matter for you. Guys, have a good one. Talk to you later. Bye.